Section 7.5, we've been graphing exponential functions on this section. However, it's a lot easier to graph, or a lot quicker to graph on Quizizz on Wayground. Let's compare the two. Let's jump right in. So we had a page of notes on exponential growth functions, and we also had a page of notes on exponential decay functions. So for example, if we wanted to graph this guy, I said to first identify your h and k. Well, in algebra 2, there's h, which would be up here with the x. But right here in algebra 1, it's just k. And that's technically your asymptote, okay? So let's begin by stating our asymptote, which in this case is y equals the k value, which is -3. Now, what does that really mean? That means that your asymptote is the horizontal line crossing the y-axis at -3 that this graph up here will infinitely approach but never actually touch, okay? So if you wanted to start with your asymptote, you could do that. You could go to -3, 1, 2, 3. Here's the y value of -3, and here's my asymptote, the horizontal line crossing the y-axis at -3, okay? But the steps I showed you on paper is to ignore h and k. So you would just box this in, and you would make an input-output table, XY table. You would use consecutive integer inputs. That means numbers that are in order, numeric order. And then you would plug in the easiest number, in this case would be 0. Plug in a 0 right there. Anything to the 0 power is 1, and 1 times 1/2 is 1/2. So when you plug in 0, you get out a 1/2. Now let's plot that point, 0, 1/2. Maybe I should plot it. I want to plot it in blue, okay? 0, 1/2. 0 on the x. So 0 on the x, halfway up on the y. That'll be right there, okay? There's 0, 1/2. And then you could plug in 1, plug in 2, plug in 3, plug in -1, plug in -2, do all that math, and you would get all these coordinates. Of course, we're still ignoring the k value, which is -3. But what we could do that's easier, because we have consecutive integer numbers, is use this base, which happens to be a growth factor that tells you that it's going to grow by 2. So this output is going to grow by multiplying it by 2. It's going to grow by 2. So what is 1/2 times 2? 1/2 times 2 is 1, and then 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 2 is 8. So technically you have the location 4, 8, 3, 4, 2, 2, 1, 1. Well, let's plot those. 1, 1 is right here. 2, 2, 2, 2 is right there. 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 is right there. And 4, 8 is up here. So there's our graph so far. And this way it's multiplying by 2 because the growth factor is 2. Then going backwards, it's dividing by 2 or also multiplying by half. 8 times half is 4. 4 times half is 2. Half of 2 is 1. Half of 1 is half. 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/4. And then 1/4 times half is 1/8, and then 1/8 times 1/2 is 1/16. So as you can see, it keeps getting smaller and smaller in the negative direction. So right here you're at half, and then you're at half of the half, which is a 4, 1/4, and then half of that, which is an eighth, half of that's 1/16. At that point, you can't really even draw the difference. So that would be your graph, and it keeps going this way forever. You draw it like if it's actually touching the x-axis, but you know it never actually touches, just infinitely approaches. So this is what I would want you to do. Get these points, and then after that, then transform or shift your graph according to your k value, which in this case is -3. In other words, you're going to shift all of these points down 3 units. So where it looks like it infinitely approached the x-axis, it's now infinitely going to approach the y equals -3 line, the asymptote. So we're going to draw a line down here on the asymptote, and we're going to take each one of these points, this point, and move it down down 3 units because the k value is 3. 1, 2, 3. Put a dot right there. The other one, 1, 2, 3. Put a dot right there. The other 1, 2, 3. Put a dot right there. The other one, 1, 2, 3. Put a dot right there. And this one, as you could see, it infinitely approaches the asymptote, right? So you draw your line. And if you accidentally drew the first one, or even if you didn't, I would probably put like 2 X's on that one because that's not your final graph. Your final graph is actually including the -3, which would be this one, which is on your asymptote. So that does take a while. Okay, that does take a while. Same thing if it's a decay function, right? The only difference between a growth function is that this base is a value greater than 1, which is going to cause it to grow. A decay function is a base that has a value less than 1 between 0 and 1, which would cause it to shrink. Again, anything that you multiply by 2 is going to grow, but anything you multiply by half, which is between 0 and 1, is going to shrink. So if I say what's 20 times half, that becomes 10. It shrinks, it decays. But if I say what's 20 times 2, it's going to grow to 40. So when graphing on Wayground or on Quizizz, we're going to start by identifying and graphing the asymptote, which is a horizontal line y equals k, whatever this value is, that's what you're going to graph. And then after that, you're going to make an XY table. You're going to plug in 0, plug in 1, plug in 0, get out an answer, plug in 1, get out an answer, and you'll have 2 points. Plot those 2 points, and you're done. As a matter of fact, it's probably better if we rephrase it like this. Step 1, move your asymptote to y equals k, whatever that value is. Step 2, make an XY table, plug in 0 and 1, plug in 0, get out an answer, plug in 1, get out an answer, plot those 2 points, and you will be done. Check it out. Let's do an example on Quizizz. Doesn't matter how crazy it looks like. If you follow these 2 steps, you'll be successful at graphing exponential growth or decay functions. Check it out. I mean, you have an A value of 14. Your decay factor is 2/7. How do I know it's decay and not growth? Because that fraction is not bigger than 1. So I know from left to right it's going to decay because 2/7 is less than 1. So you're going to begin by identifying your asymptote. You could even write down the asymptote is y equals k. And what is k? It's -6. So y equals -6. That's this horizontal line, which is currently at -2. That's a starting point. That's how it always starts. So move it to -6. Move it down to -6. Okay. And then from there, you want to make an XY table. So you could go ahead and make an XY table and plug in the number 0. So what would that be? That would be 14 times 2/7, close parenthesis, to the power of 0 minus 6. You could type all that into a calculator and it'll give you your answer, or you could do it by hand. If you're doing it by hand, it's this simple. When you plug in a 0, that becomes 1. 14 times 1 is 14, and 14 take away 6 is 8. So when you plug in a 0, you get out an 8. Plug in a 0, get out an 8. So you go 0, 8, that's way up here. And then you want to plug in a 1 into your x with that XY table. Okay, so when you plug in a 1, 2/7 to the 1 is still 2/7. So you could write it out, 14 times 2/7 to the power of 1 minus 6. You could do it all in the calculator, or you could do it by hand. 2/7 to the power of 1 stays the same. And 14 times 2 is 28, and 28 divided by 7 is 4, and 4 minus 6 is -2. So when you plug in a 1, you get out a -2. So you take this point and go to the location 1, which is already on 1, and go down to -2. And that's the location 1, -2. So this is our answer right here, guys. Just hit submit, and voila. I hope that made sense, guys. Once again, when you plug in 0, you're plugging in 0, and I showed my work down here for plugging in 0, and we got out a -8. And I also plugged in a 1, and I showed my work right here, plugging in that 1 into the whole thing. And you could do it all in the calculator. Of course, I would rather you do it by hand. Show me that you know how to do it on paper. But you get those 2 points, plot those 2 points with the asymptote, you're done. There are many things to notice about an exponential growth or decay function. Like the base is, again, less than 1, it's between 0 and 1, so that's going to be a decay function. That means that from left to right, it's going to decay towards the asymptote. You should already know your asymptote's y equals 4, the horizontal line crossing at 4. So if you wanted to, you could just grab that asymptote and move it to 4, which is right there, okay? And then, of course, you need an input-output table and plug in 2 easy numbers. I recommend 0, get out an answer, and then plug in a 1. So go ahead and draw an XY table, put a 0 as an input, put a 1 as an input, and then actually plug in the number 0, okay? So if you're plugging in the number 0, you're going to write it out, -8, parenthesis, 1/2, close parenthesis, to the power of 0, and then plus 4, and then hit equal, and your calculator will do the work for you. Or you could also show that you plug in a 0 right there, and 1/2 to the 0 power is 1, and 1 times that -8 is -8, and -8 plus 4 is -4. So when you plug in a 0, you get out a -4. So let's take this 0, 0 point and move it to 0, -4. Okay, so there's your actual point. Now go back to the XY table and now plug in a 1 into the whole thing. So we're going to plug in a 1 into the X. So you're going to write it out. You can do it on the calculator if you want. -8, open parentheses, 1/2 to the close parentheses to the power of 1, and then plus 4, hit equal. It'll give you your output. Or you could do it by hand the way I'm about to. 1/2 to the 1 is 1/2. But then when you multiply the 1/2 times -8, that'll give you a -4. And then -4 plus 4 is 0. So when you plug in a 1, you get out a 0. So the input 1 give you the output 0. So go to this other point and go to the location 1 on the X, 0 on the Y, and it would be right there. And that's your graph. Just hit submit and get an A+. Another one, here we go. We have Y equals 3, parentheses 4/3 to the power of X minus 5. Quickly make a XY table, plug in 0, plug in 1. You already know your asymptote is at Y equals -5. So you can start with that. Asymptote's at Y equals K, which in this case is -5. Get that asymptote, move it down to -5. There it is. And now, again, go to your XY table, plug in 0. You could use a calculator, type in 3, parentheses, 4/3, close parentheses to the power of 0 minus 5. But we should all know that 4/3 to the power of 0, anything to the power of 0 is 1. So you really have 3 times 1 minus 5. So 3 times 1 is 3. 3 minus 5 is -2. So when you plug in a 0, you get out a -2, okay? So let's go to the location 0, -2. I've moved that from the 0, 0 to the 0, -2. So now let's go back to our XY table and let's plug in the next number 1 into that input. And 4/3 times 1 is 4/3, or not 4/3 times 1. 4/3 to the 1 power is 4/3, so that stays the same. But when you multiply a fraction by its denominator, that would cancel out and that'll just give you a 4, okay? So 3 times 4/3 is just 4, and 4 minus 5 is -1. So when you plug in a 1, you get out a -1. So here we are. Let's take that dot to the location 1, -1. There it is. And I am done. Just hit submit right there. And you'll have yourself another correct question. Anyway, just to reiterate what we did here, we did an XY table, plugged in 0. I showed my work right here. So hopefully you know that this is the work that I did to find the output. Plugged in 0, got the output -2. Then there's a work for plugging in 1 and got the output -1. With those 2 points plus the asymptote, you're already done with your exponential growth function. By the way, this question particularly, you could tell that it's a growth function because even though it's a fraction, 4 divided by 3 is bigger than 1. It's 1 1/3. So from left to right, it does grow because that is a growth factor. The base is greater than 1. Not only that, since the A value is positive, you know that the whole graph is going to be above that asymptote, which happens to be Y equals -5. If that would have been negative, it would be down here below the asymptote, okay? Just a couple of tips for you. Hopefully this makes sense and hopefully you're understanding this.